acquisitions on top of acquisitions. It's acquisition season for Sony, it looks like. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff. For me personally, I thought it was kind of funny because, you know, the companies that are doing acquisitions right now aren't the company that's supposedly in quote-unquote acquisition season. And for those of you who don't understand what a joke is, you know, listen, that's makes it even funnier to me personally. But I do like kind of explaining it to people so they understand the joke, because there were even some PlayStation dudes that didn't understand that joke a while ago when I talked about Sony acquiring a studio, and I was like, acquisition season, like who uses that word? Only the Xbox fanboys use that term. So for me, it was a joke making fun of people who really kind of just go overboard with that whole acquisition stuff, especially given the current climate of no games. You know, again, and it was funny because yesterday on social media, I made a little post because it was very interesting to me that Microsoft, in my opinion, still hasn't released a AAA Xbox first-party exclusive this entire generation, but Amazon, of all people, of all places, of all game developers, launched their first AAA game called New World, some kind of MMO, and I guess it had over 700,000 concurrent players on it, which was pretty impressive. And to tell you how impressive that is, that's more impressive than every Xbox game that's come out on Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Steam PC at the same time. That's more people than by a large margin that have played Xbox games combined, you know, on Steam and Xbox. That's way more, you know what I mean? So that's a hugely successful thing, and people really kind of got pissed off, and you know, kind of you know, how they get. So very interesting to say the least. But I wanted to get into this because Sony has acquired another studio through one of their studios. Very weird, but very cool. What's up, everybody? It's me, Crapgamer, with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you very much for checking it out. Thanks for watching. All I ask is a like. That's all I ask for you guys, man. Just give me a simple like. I appreciate it. You know, rack them up and all that kind of good stuff. With that being said, yeah, this is weird. So Firesprite, which is a new acquisition from Sony, reveals that it has acquired the Persistence co-developers, Fabric Games. So a studio that Sony bought another studio. This is madness, guys. Madness. So yeah, like this was very interesting to me. Firesprite, which was recently bought by Sony Interactive Entertainment to join its ever-swelling PlayStation Studios teams, has announced that it has acquired Fabric Games. If that name sounds familiar, then it should, as Firesprite and Fabric work together on Persistence. Firesprite managing director Graham Anchors actually commented, and this is what he had to say, and I quote, "I'm delighted to announce that we will be bringing Fabric Games and Firesprite together as part of our exciting next step with PlayStation Studios. They are a team of passionate and committed developers, led by industry veterans who have worked on many AAA franchises. We're looking forward to bolstering our creative talent as we continue on our journey to offer truly unique experiences for PlayStation fans." Meanwhile, Fabric Games studio head Errol Ishmael said, and I quote, "We are having a history of working and collaborating closely with Firesprite. There's a huge amount of creative and cultural alignment already, and the entire team is excited to be on board. We can't wait to show everyone what we're capable of." Now, Fabric Games was founded in 2014 by Anchors with the aim of create, publish, and support new game experiences in Manchester, among which include the release of multiple indie projects. Having worked with Firesprite on the Persistence, it will now aid Firesprite in strengthening Sony's output of exclusive software. Now, a recent job listing by Firesprite themselves has revealed that the studio is working on a AAA narrative adventure game. There's also been rumors that they were working on a Horizon game, Horizon Forbidden West, or Horizon Zero Dawn type game, standalone for PlayStation VR 2. But according to this, PlayStation Studios' latest acquisition, Firesprite, is developing a new narrative AAA adventure game, according to a job listing. The studio that revealed that it's actually looking for a writer for the development of an ambitious, unannounced AAA title, with the successful applicant required to create compelling characters and stories. And the individual must be someone who understands how to construct a branching narrative. Previously, it was reported that Firesprite, like I said, is working on Horizon game featuring VR functionality, although this is apparently not going to be a port of Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West themselves. Firesprite is an expanding studio with another 40 positions looking to be filled as it starts work under the PlayStation Studios umbrella. As it stands, the company is already larger than Sony Interactive Entertainment's London studio and Media Molecule combined. There's over almost 300 people working there now with this new bit of information. So, very interesting that they're actually out there doing it. And this is really, really awesome to see what we've seen. You know what I'm saying? This is absolutely incredible. And again, this is something that I just have to absolutely say that, bravo to Sony for going out there and doing this, because they've gone about it a much different way than Microsoft, and I think it's a little bit paid off, because if you think of things, right, the way that Microsoft did things was kind of bought these studios that are already out there in the hopes that they could make something, and just kind of luck into it, whereas Sony are buying some of these studios that are really going out there kind of in a very interesting situation, where they're picking up some of these studios that people maybe wouldn't think. One of the more brilliant things that Sony's been able to do is actually go out there and kind of get these studios that maybe people didn't think much of. I know Insomniac was a well thought of studio, but the fact that that studio for $200 million or $200 million and some change has been able to output all of Bethesda to this point has been nothing short of incredible, and actually put out games that people are looking forward to. If you didn't know, Firesprite is a large Liverpool-based team that was bought by PlayStation earlier this month. They've expanded further. Fabric now will become a part of Firesprite and boost its overall headcount up to 265 people. If you guys didn't know, now Firesprite was formed from the remnants of Sony Liverpool, which PlayStation shut down back in 2012, and now they've really quietly grown to become one of the largest development teams in the UK, and has found itself back as a first-party studio, which I think is a smart move if you think about it, just the way that they've kind of handled things, and, really fantastic. I think this is something that I've really kind of enjoyed in terms of watching and seeing how people react to this stuff. Obviously, the addition of Fabric's team makes a lot of sense, again, because the former was spun out of Firesprite by its boss to develop indie games, so it ended up working with Firesprite on the recent project, as I said, The Persistence. So this is a very interesting stuff, very cutting-edge stuff. Nice to see that Sony's out there kind of doing these things, and it looks like they're making maybe 1 or 2 games possibly. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on as we kind of continue to go into the future of this. They've done a really good job of keeping people excited and getting people amped up. And just overall, I I just thought it was kind of an interesting situation. And I love seeing people kind of go out there and just kind of damage control this kind of stuff, or talk like, oh, it's not a huge acquisition or whatever. But for me personally, I think that it's still quite an interesting acquisition, and something that can pay dividends for Sony in the future in a lot of ways. And I make that very clear. The fact that Sony can do things a little bit differently than Microsoft, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually like the fact that they go out there and they do things differently, but they manage to still get things done. Like, it'd be easy to go, oh, well, why are they even trying? Microsoft has all this money earmarked for, acquisitions and games and studios and stuff like that. But at the same time, if you look at things, Microsoft is severely struggling to get anything out the door. Thankfully, it does look like a situation where, where Bethesda kind of runs themselves. And I've said this multiple times, that's really what a stroke of genius, because it does seem like some of the other companies are kind of still under the studio head of Microsoft, and I'm not so sure that that's a good thing. I mean, we can look at the situation with the Initiative. They were supposed to be a quadruple A development studio, and here we are, and it just does not look like it's a good situation. You know what I mean? I know people can try and like damage control it or whatever they want, but for me personally, I personally don't look at that as a strong situation that they had something playable almost 2 years ago, and now not only do they not, it looks like they're starting over, but they're completely co-developing with an outside team. So yeah, very much a very interesting kind of situation. And with that being said, I'm gonna link all of this. There's a couple different things in here that I can link for you guys. Very cool stuff to say the least. And I love hearing the feedback. And if you do enjoy the content, consider leaving a like or maybe even subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.